Hey guys, Colbert here. Welcome to another Racial Legends video. Guys, today we're going over Inquisitor Shamael. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this guy is amazing. I played around with him in a bit just to get an idea on how his skills work, because just on paper, when you see the skills, you don't really realize what they do until you actually go into a fight. And this guy is extremely cool. I think it was long overdue for a guy like this, at least for my channel. Everybody else I think made a video already, but yeah, I'm really liking this epic. He's a recent addition to the pool of void epics that we have for the game. So let's quickly go check his skills, and then we'll go back to his gear and then actually just take the champion for a run. So his skills: Wreak Revenge, attacks one enemy, 50% chance of decreasing the duration of a random buff on the target by 1 turn. That's pretty good for removing buffs. Actually, when the buff has 1 turn already, and you do this, you actually just remove the buff. Counterattacks with this skill each time an enemy places a debuff on an ally. So this is pretty good when enemies just apply debuffs on your whole team. He will counterattack and also have that chance to actually decrease the duration of buffs on them and do some damage, but the damage is not that great because the counterattacks will only deal 50% of the normal damage and cannot be critical. This is huge. He barely does any damage with this. So yeah, the benefit for this would be to get actually War Master to help you with the damage, but instead we didn't go for War Master. So Cow the Horrors attacks one enemy 3 times, will ignore 25% of the target's defense. That's flat, but will ignore a further 25% of the target's defense for each buff on this champion. So with just 3 buffs, he gains 100%, 100% defense, penetration, defense, ignore, and just goes all the way to 100% if you have just 3 buffs on you and just attack with that A2. I think this is an amazing skill, and not only that, it's a 3 turns cooldown with no real amount of books required other than just giving him damage. And then place a True Fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if the attack kills an enemy. This is huge for PvE, for controlling waves, but also it's huge for PvP because you'll single targetly hit a target, ignore 100% of the defense, hopefully, and kill the target, and then just fear the whole enemy team. Just truly amazing. And then not only that, Dauntless, his passive, each critical hit this champion fills this champion's turn meter by 7.5%. Whenever an ally receives a fear or a true fear debuff, this skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill the ally's turn meter by 15%. I'm really liking this, like double passive. So not only he will crit, he will gain some turn meter back. His actual A2 will give him triple 7.5%, so that's a pretty good amount. His A1 will give him only just on the normal time he hits, not on the counterattacks, because the counterattacks cannot crit. But still, this is a very nice passive, and not only that, he cleanses fears and true fears from the team. He also has an aura for Doom Tower, so if you're having difficulties there just cruising through the waves, then this will help you out, because 60 accuracy will be really good for your team, getting to those numbers that I think they're quite high, to be honest, in the Doom Tower. So we'll go for the masteries in a bit, but artifacts, guys, there is a huge range of artifacts that you can go for. Inquisitor Shamael, I've tried Relentless on him. I've tried just straight out, cruel sets on him, which are not really needed because of his A3, A2 on how it works. But I think Reflex is really cool on him. I don't have that good Reflex gear, to be honest. So the set that I have do not really reflect the power that he can potentially go to. But this is still, I think, a pretty end game setup with the stats overall that I'm going to show right now. And then I'll go each gear and just show you what I got for each gear. So 4,000 attack, 180 speed. That's a bit low, to be honest. I would like this to be 200 or over 200. Critical rate at 99%. You want this to be 100, obviously. I was trying to get there, but just 1%. And critical damage 258%. That's pretty good, but it's also masteries. I got flawless execution and accuracy 302. Ideally, you want to have 300 to 350, especially for Doom Tower. For any dungeons over 200, it's fine. But yeah, for PvP, you'll be okay with 300 as long as you don't really expect to apply that those debuffs on targets like a Duchess with high resistance. Any real resistance gear on a champion will basically need you to have at least 400 accuracy. So really, you're going for the damage dealers. You want to kill one enemy and actually fear the damage dealers. So you want to be targeting maybe a more tanky target instead with that A2. So we'll go through that in a bit in the gameplay section. So masteries, of course, masteries. I went for Flawless execution. The reason that I went for flawless execution, guys, is because he doesn't really need the Helm Smasher. Of course, Helm Smasher couldn't work with his A1, but I didn't go for that. I went instead for Blood Shield and Kill Streak. Of course, flawless execution is just a flat 20% critical damage. Here, Kill Streak and Blood Shield, I really like them. Well, Kill Streak obviously gives you more damage. Blood Shield gives you a shield when you do get a kill, so that shield will count as a buff for the next time that you actually have your A2 available. So if you get a kill with that A1, you'll have a shield, and then when you do use that A2, that will basically be a 25% damage ignore, so defense ignore. So pretty good mastery actually for this champion. And I also went for Cycle of Violence for obvious reasons. Ruthless Ambush, obvious reasons again, to just get that extra 8% damage on that first hit that you get on an enemy. Instead, you can go for this, of course, single out and bring it down. This might actually be better now that I think of it, because this may be just the first hit that you do your A2 on, and that might not be that significant, and maybe the consistency of single out and bring it down might be better. I'll need to test this a bit more, I think, to be absolute with these two masteries and this one. Of course, Shield Breaker is always great if you don't have any way to remove shields. It increases your damage by basically 25% when you do get that first hit. And then the other ones are basic. Here, Support Tree. The reason I went this is, of course, to get that extra accuracy. And Evil Eye. Evil Eye is really great in PvP for controlling the enemies. And of course, PvE as well. I like Evil Eye. I like how much control it gives you. Master Hex, it doesn't give you anything here. But Evil Eye just gives you so much control both in PvP and PvE. 20% turn meter reduction is huge. And because you're already running some accuracy on the champion, then it makes it have more sense to actually take Evil Eye on a damage dealer. So let's go overall with the gear. Critical damage. Try to get critical rate and accuracy and speed on all the gear, but it's not really possible. Attack percent, chest plate right there with a critical rate substat at least and speed. And of course, critical rate substat at least and speed primary. I know these are very end game items, but these are the ones I had to actually achieve that reflex set bonus. So the reason I'm getting that reflex set bonus is because it gives me a 40% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown, and because he only has one skill that he uses, then it will always reduce the skill cooldown of that skill. So you can give me an argument you should have gone Relentless Cold.brew, because reflex can even reduce the cooldown of your skill when you actually don't have a cooldown going, so you would actually get the skill next, so it's basically a waste. I know, but it's still a 40% chance. It's double or more than double than what Relentless gives you, and Relentless basically gives you an extra turn, but it doesn't really happen as often as reflex because of just a straight out percentage. RNG wise, Relentless though can also just proc after one turn after another, so that's gonna be fun when that happens, but it's not something that always gonna happen. So 40% chance. I'm liking this, and let's go and test it out. Of course, accessories, I forgot about these. Attack and attack percentage, critical damage, and I went accuracy here because I was missing accuracy. Ideally, you want to have accuracy on the main stat and attack percentage on the substats. What I'm going to do is my normal PvP team. So Arbiter for the lead, another speed booster there to ensure that nobody cuts us. And then, of course, Madame Ceres to apply the defense down and remove any kind of shields that the enemy team has. And of course, Shamael for the big burst. Let's go and see what kind of burst he does. I'm going to try and see if we can take down Krisk. We should be able to take him down, even with the power of all this defensive setup right here. But I want to see Krisk going down. Or should we go for Duchess? I think Duchess is a better target because she will revive and cause issues to the whole team. So here, there we go. And let's go with our A2 on Duchess. There shouldn't be any issues in killing her. Boom, boom, boom. What was that? 33, 25, and 28. Definitely worth it. And now the true fear is on everyone. Let's put this on auto and see what the team does. This Krisk has very low accuracy. Very, very bad Krisk. There's that A1 there. Took the kill on Brago. Oh, this team is not that good. Their accuracy was very low. Get another kill there. And honestly, she is not doing that much in terms of reducing the damage that her allies take. She takes damage instead for her allies, but not so much. and we actually got the kill. So let's see the damage recap, 115,000 there. So let's do another refresh here and try and see and find a pretty tanky team. This one looks tanky. So it does look tanky. No, let's try and see the Valkyrie there. I mean, the 100% ignore defense will always be what you guys imagine. It's just going to take them down pretty easily. So we don't get it with this kind of sets that we have right now. So we only get 50% from the two buffs and another 25% from the skill. But still, 75% damage reduction. It's amazing. So another potential good set that you can use that I tried to use but didn't have the ability with also using reflex was actually, guys, getting a divine set, any kind of divine set or an immortal set, because those sets also give you a shield buff on the start of the run, and it's a 2-set bonus. So it means you can have something like a relentless, a reflex, any kind of 4-set plus that one, and it's a free buff in the beginning of the turn, which actually means 25% damage ignore. So not damage, defense ignore. Yeah, so let's kill this Valkyrie. Wow, one shot there, 49,000. There's the revive. I want to see some debuffs go on my team so Shamael can take his turn and counterattack. Put this on 1x. We've got to block debuffs now, so there's a 55k with his A1. Let me put this back on 2x. There is a big buff from Valkyrie on her team. Shamael is getting focused because he is just the weaker one of the lot here. No debuffs on our team just yet. There's Shamael taking the kill again. And I think he got resisted there with True Fear, or did he actually apply it? I'll have to check. This is A1, 37,000. Not that great in terms of nuke with his A1. But that was a bit of tanky target. But definitely the A2 is a killer. It reminds me of other champions who have 100% ignore defense. It's just an amazing skill to have. It just melts any kind of target. You don't have to worry about who you're going to pick and if he's going to die. He's going to die when you attack. Faceless has a very similar mechanic, but it's not a multi-hitting skill. So if there's a Rotos in there, you can't really kill a Rotos with a Faceless. But with Shamael, you can hit it because this is a triple hitting attack. So here we're going to go for, let's go for Razin for the kill. And now he got protected there with Swift Parry, I think. That's Swift Parry. So we got a debuff there on our team from Vorgoth, and he basically counterattack on them. So let's see how this run is going to go. There's the one debuff there. Can we steal that? Yes, we did. Resisted there that Razin's A3. So decrease cooldown there on the beginning of the turn. That's reflex set. So we have our A2 again. I think I'm going to go for Brago. Look at that, one hit basically, 55k. So next up we're going to go in the first stage of the Doom Tower just to see what kind of control he gives us when clearing those teams. Come on, man. Boom. Look at that. The counterattack does 5,000 damage. I mean, just the restriction there on critting doesn't really cut it. 5,000 is just there to just annoy the targets a little bit. So now, guys, we're in the Doom Tower stage 112, 112 with on hard difficulty with Shamael. We have, of course, an end game team right here, but Shamael there as a test on how much damage we can actually do to these enemies right here. So let's go in there and see how much damage we can do. There's is there a Torment there? Is he going to be annoying? Torments are really annoying to fight against because of that freeze mechanic. Okay, there's no Torment here. So let's see. We boost basically with our 2 boosters here because of the amount of speed that the enemies have in the end Doom Tower stages. So we'll go with the defense down weaken. Of course, defense down weaken will not affect us. Only weaken will benefit Shamael in terms of just straight up damage. So here I can either do the A2 or do the provoke. I'm going to go for the provoke, just so that nobody has any chance of taking a turn before my Shamael. Hopefully Shamael takes a turn. He's very slow. Okay, he'll take a turn. So here we have our pick. We'll have 100% ignore defense just because of the amount of buffs we have. We only need 3. We have our Cow the Horrors available. You're just going to do a burst on a target we want to kill. And ideally, he should die with a weaken, with every kind of buff that we have on us. So attack up. and the benefit of 100% ignore defense, I think we'll get a kill, but who knows? I can't really remember the exact HP values, so maybe we don't have enough damage, because we'll need about at least 200,000 damage to take these enemies down. So let's see how much we do on this Gurgo here. Gurgo is an attack-based champion, so he might not have that high amount of health, but who knows? He's Doom Tower. Let's see. How much was that? 86, 76. It was 3 hits for sure, but I only saw 2 of them. I'll have to check on the replay. And here we get the Fierce. And it didn't really proc, but we did get frozen because when you attack Gurgo, he does freeze you. I think it's a 50% chance, if I remember correctly. I'm going to block him here. I'm going to lose a turn here on poor Shamael because he got frozen. And he's already slow, but anyway. Let's speed boost everyone. Let's get Shamael another turn. Does Shamael get a turn here? We'll see in a bit. Let's do another boost. We don't need the revive at the moment. So we didn't get a reflex proc, but let's see that A1. Remember, if anybody applies the debuff on our team, Shamael will be there to just counterattack. But he doesn't really do all that high amount of damage. So the next target we want to kill is, of course, Santa. And I want to test that big A2 with Shamael on Santa and see if he really has it to take down Santa. I mean, we took down Gurgo, but does he have it against Santa? There's a provoke there for the control. There's a counter there with 2,000 damage. Oh man, it's just a waste. Here we have the A2 reflex procced, and let's go and see how much damage we do on this Santa. 76, 73, 81, and he's down. I mean, such a big burst. I'm really loving this champion, even with the gear that I have on him right now. He seems to be having a solid nuke. Of course, I have Krisk and Lilia, which are endgame champions. Ideally here, you want to have a shield champion going into fighting the hard Doom Tower. But regardless, is the idea behind the skill set that he has and what kind of combo you take in with him. Because alone, just by himself, he won't have the buffs. Okay, so you need to take a proper team with him to actually make him shine. And I think Shamael really deserves the title of a nice, I think top 5 epic in voids. Maybe not top 5. There's so many epic voids now that I think top 10 for sure. Top 10 for sure as a void epic. Where is he? So Inquisitor Shamael, guys, what do you think of him? Put it in the comments down below on how you built him. There's so many different sets that you can go: perception, speed, accuracy. There's so many different sets and builds that you can do, but I chose the reflex for this showcase. What do you think of it, guys? Leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.